Good afternoon on the Empty Skull Ranch. We got a package in the mail the other day. Let's take a look inside. All right, here we go. We have an S&B cold air intake. That's kind of a cruddy label for a 17 through 19, if you can see that, power stroke. So we are going to install it in this bad Larry right here. So let's take a look at the kit contents. All right, what do we got inside here? Well, we got bag, bubble wrap, S&B bubble wrap. Don't mind the stretch wrap rolls. All right, check out this monster of a filter. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this thing. That is a big filter. So that will sit on the end of that there tube that flares out to about 5.5 inches. Lets a lot of air in. So let's put this aside and get some paper. And we got a install kit, some various hardware in here, some hose clamps. Throw that over there. We got some other installation stuff, including some shrink wrap, some cable battery terminal extenders, and some zip ties, other various stuff, some more bracketry, and then we got that monstrous tube I was talking about. That is a large amount of air that this allows in there. And got this guy to show what it is, what the part numbers are. You can put that on there. That's kind of a valuable tool. So I will install this. I've done one of these filters in the past, and I did in fact install that. It's a good thing I did, because when it comes time to ordering the filter for it. So, and also got this guy, battery box. So we're relocating the location, relocating locations, locating again the battery, or the passenger side battery that is. And we got this little guy right here, the coupler to that massive air tube that you just saw. So basically laid out here are the tools. Don't mind how rusty that one is. That's going to spend some time in the Empty Skull intensive care unit, get all cleaned up. They're all nothing but the best tools here on the ranch. So we're going to need Phillips. We're going to need a T20 5/16 nut driver. So I can't find my 5/16 nut driver, and it's driving me nuts. Anyway, and we're going to need this guy right here, a 13 mil deep socket. I'm just doing all deep sockets. And we're going to need a 7, need an 8, and a 10. And just because it didn't specify it, you always need an extension bar. You always do. And then my 1/4 inch. You always need a razor blade. So and of course, panel popper, flathead screwdriver, and a heat gun for that stuff there. I was showing you the heat shrink for the wires. So before we get started on this guy, and behind me you'll notice that is going to be future video. I'm already halfway, well, not halfway through, about a third of the way through it, so better late than never, I guess. But we're going to do a sound check, because of course we want it to breathe easier, but then again, it also makes the sound a lot more robust. All right, now that the engine's nice and hot and it's difficult to work around, I am going to start working around it. All right, we're going to disconnect this negative terminal over here. Help if I put it in the turning capacity. All right, get it nice and loose. There we go. Come on, you. Come on. There you go. Give it a cuddle. Yeah, maybe stick that somewhere where it's not going to defeat the purpose of being disconnected. Come over here and we're going to disconnect both the negative. This is with the, of course, 10 millimeter. So let's get this guy up. Oh yeah, come on, give it a cuddle. Well, let's disconnect this guy at the same time. Look at all that crud. That's very safe. You can put that on your cereal and eat it. I'd put that stuff on my cereal and eat it. No, I wouldn't. All right. Now, let's tuck that back there and then give this guy a little lift. Give it a lift. There we go, come on. There we go, atta pepper. All right, now we gotta disconnect these guys right here. Oh, that guy's already, I think these might be a little littler. A little littler. There we go. No, they're not. They're the right size. This is why you gotta use the deep socket. And give it a cuddle over here. Look at all that crud. I'm gonna give that a little bit of a cleaning before I put it back in there. All right, so let me come back to you when I got that out of there. Also, once you get the battery out of here, you're gonna wanna follow this right here, the secondary ground, right there. You wanna take that right on out of there. Oh yeah, I gotta use the other size. I believe that's an 8. So pop that guy right out of there and then start disassembling this guy. And I think you use the 8s on those. Haha, see, look at that. I'm so glad I grabbed the extension. That would be a thorn in the you-know-what. All right, let's get to it. All right, well, I got that guy loosened down. I got to get this out of the way first because using the deep socket kind of backing up against that air box. So let's start by taking the stock tube right out of the equation. And let's pop this eye off right here. I have no need to be using the extension bar on it, but I can justify saying, well, I'm using the knurling on it to use it as a screwdriver. Yeah, that's right. So let's get this guy loosened down, loosened out, loosened up, loosened in. All right, she's good and loose now. Get loose. All right, there we go. Kind of slide her over that way. And now she's good and loose. So we're gonna get this side, and also we are going to get this side, as you can see. So basically, upon reviewing some of the footage, my on, off, record, not record selection was backwards. So the removal of this air box didn't quite get captured the way I wanted it to, but it's basically pretty straightforward. This guy right here was where the secure points were that you saw on the prior scene where the ground wire was across from here. And these guys right here, this guy right here went into a grommet, and over here as well. So basically, once you get those off, there's a bunch of little guys that are stuck to this thing all over in these various spots. You just got to make sure you pull all the harnesses off of it before you start lifting it out of the compartment. As you're going to see when we go back to the footage, there is a big hole where this one's came from. So this guy right here, pretty gross filter, that was connected to the under battery box air tunnel, which you're going to see that part come out. But basically, the removal of this guy, 2 bolts, grommets, just make sure you get all the harnesses that were stuck to this off of it. All right. Also, once you get in here, you got to make sure these little guys right here get popped out. That way you don't take those guys for a ride. All various knickknacks and other things. The other one popped out so easily. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to start recording again. Because that one should pop out in the same fashion. Nope, never does. There we go. So that guy's out and that guy's out. So we should be able to also continue taking that primary ground out of there. So we're going to pop this guy on there and give her a cuddle. Alrighty, Roo. How do you do? So, nope. Not ready for finger tight yet. It's funny how lengthy the threads on these things are. It's like just when you think it's about to come out. All right, there we go. And so we don't lose this guy, we're gonna throw it back in there just so we know where it is. I'm sure that'll get in the way of the next install process. So now we're gonna slide this out of here. We are gonna slide. Oh, there's another thing. This little cross harness right here, that we got to pop out of there as well. So let's pop that out of that side and pop this one out of, where are we? There we are. There we go. Nice and popped out. Stick that to the side. And now set this terminal over there. And get this out from underneath that bric-a-brac over there. Is there another harness that's connected to this? By Dickens, there is. So let's set this back in there. And a little pesky weasel. Just when you thought it was safe. That little weasel. All right, give it a cut. Not cuddly enough. Give it a cuddle. Give it a cuddle. That was a really hefty one. Out yet? Nope. Out yet? Nope. just as a warning to all y'all, these are very tedious and difficult to deal with, all these little clips and things. All right, I'm gonna get 2 hands into that. Be right back. She let go. Finally. Let go. Well, I can't really stuff that down in there to show you, but oh yeah, there we go. Let go. Looks like a caterpillar. Now I'm gonna lift this guy right up out of there. And that's what she looks like, a little weasel. So, we're gonna keep some of that stuff intact because we're gonna have to come back to this and take this bracketry right here out of here so we can reuse this cross member, that U-bolt. So, anyway, now we're gonna delve into the new kit because we're looking quite vacant. When have you seen space like that in a vehicle made after the year 20, not even 20s, 1980 something? Look at that. Almost like the old Chevys where you could sit down right next to the engine on the fender wall. But soon it's going to be occupied again, so fear not. All right. All right, so now back in here, a little close. All right, back in here, we're going to take this bracket right here out of there. So that is going to get out of the equation completely. So that is a 10 millimeter. There we go, give it a nice twist. Notice that was under that primary grounding clamp location. So once we get that out of here, we're going to start on the battery box install. Battery box. So there we go. And I'll work on that side. I have had this chipmunk racing around my truck this whole time. I don't know if he's trying to test my patience, you know, trying to poke the bull, but he's really testing his fate, kind of testing my patience here. So, you don't want those things anywhere near your house, within stone's throw of your house, because they are nuisance invaders. So, take this guy out. It's already started its descent into madness, much like I have. Yeah. So, I'm gonna weave that out of there. I'm gonna weave that guy out of there. Weave, there we go. All right, I'm gonna carefully go put that over there. All right, we're gonna retain these guys though. I'm not gonna keep too many things in there because I'm gonna have to flip her over pretty soon to take that. Come on, focus, focus. I'm gonna have to take these out of here soon. All right, so anyway, let's focus back in here again. Right on this here is gonna be the battery box mounting bracket. So that is this guy right here. But in order to put that guy in there, it won't go in. There's an AC line clip. Yep, another one. It's got a relocation hole right there. Look at that, 2 of those nuisance pieces. All right, let's get those out. All right, there she is. It comes with this M8 bolt with a lock nut and a couple of Warshners. So you get that semi-tightened on there, and that is going to be where that new battery box mounts to. In the meantime, I took the liberty of sliding this guy out of here. So, kind of glad I did because it required 2 hands. See where these guys go in? there's also clips. See right there, these act as clips as well. Not only is it bolted to it, but it's clipped to it. So you gotta pry those off, and then you gotta slide this guy out of there. So let's get that new battery box. Pull that out of there. Out of the bag. All right. Back. A little bit better now. All right. There she is. Look at that. Well, looky here. What do we got here? Now, there is a long and a shorter side. So I'm trying to remember which side goes to which. I believe it is, the longer side was towards this side, the longer part of the tray. So we're gonna let that plunge down into the depths. Then we're gonna pick it up and not have it slide out of our grasp. Now we are going to install this guy with these two, clean them off a little bit, with these two facing where that bracketry came out of. It's going to straddle that secondary ground cable, and also it is going to meet that bracketry that we put in. So, kind of let it go in there a little bit like so. And it comes with all necessary hardware to do so. So basically through here, through here, through here, and through here. And this guy's already out, so we don't have to worry about this one interfering. So let's see what that looks like when it's all buttoned up. Well, there she is, all connected, ready to accept the battery. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in there. But tighten those, and then tighten that center mounting bolt. Well, there we go. Battery is in. Now, don't lose this, because I'm going to have to go to the store and get another one. I was trying to quickly undo it because I forgot to do that. So it went down into here somewhere. I will never see it again. Never. So, in the meantime, that's not going to be too tight now, is it? Just got to get another lock nut. So, in the meantime, let's rectify this situation. See? Doesn't reach, does it? All right, this is where these guys come into play. So it comes with two of those extenders. Do not use just one extender for two supplies. So we're gonna connect these accordingly. We're gonna shrink wrap them up with this stuff, make them look all pretty like. So let's get that going. So basically like that. That mirrors that. You wanna make sure that the configuration of these offsets go together like so that they are fitting nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and cover up that other one, do a little bit of a shrink wrap around them, get them nice and pretty like, and we're going to go ahead and connect this thing up. Well, there it is, looking all pretty like. Not really, that's kind of an eyesore. I put that stuff around here, join the ends. As you note, it was with the opposing sides facing in, so that way it made a nice flat seat. Same over here, ran it from around there, kind of redirected everything. Now we have to do the bracketry. Bracketry for the pipe, which is this guy right in here. So let me get this guy unraveled out of this. It's wrapped up nice and tight. It's not too bad. All right, so we are going to thread this guy. Drop it in there first. But we are going to thread this guy right into there so that it can accept the new pipe. Accept the pipe. So let me get that. Yo, let me get that. All right. See if I can sneak it in through here. Snaking fingers. All right. There we go. I will find a suitable path for it to go make its travels. Might have to come up through here. There we go. Fits nice and flush. So that way, the new pipe can have its perch right in there. So let's go ahead and reattach that. See if we got that mounting hardware. I don't know if it came with that particular piece of hardware. Nope. Might have to reuse some of these EU looking guys. Yeah, that one's not that bad looking. That's not that bad. And that's not that bad. So, there we go. Start the process of threading that in there. I'm going to find that it came with its own hardware and that reusing this stuff was superfluous. But I'll cross that bridge when I get there. All right, let me tighten those guys up and get the pipe ready for install. All right, I skipped ahead a couple of steps because I figured they'd be a bit self-explanatory. So I took that coupling sleeve and I slipped it over this guy right here. Gave it a cuddle. And I also had a little spot here that this guy right here for the charging system for the AC, that hose comes up pretty generously. So I actually had to do a little bit of twisting on the old hose to get that to sit down low enough. And I popped in this grommet. So I've still yet to find what the ideal position for that tube is, so I left that loose. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to slide this guy. Yeah, I'm going to take this little insert out for now, for the time being. That is going to have to go back in before we do the final run. It keeps the airflow sensor from throwing an engine code. So we're going to slide that there, and I'm going to put this little guy right into that grommet, and I'm going to find a place to tighten those guys down. So I'll be right with you. So it's getting a little dark here. I'm going to turn the old light on. But as you see, I have put those two clamps right on there and run that down there. Well, but you can see right here I had to reroute this AC charging port to right about there. But that guy is nice and tight. Got those brackets, that bracketry down, that little point there. Now I just got to get the sensor in. So let me go retrieve that sensor, and I'm going to go tighten up that little bracketry there so we can put that all in there. And hopefully we'll have a sound test for you in a second. So this is the this is the portion of the install that you need the T20 to remove those guys. So we are going to take this guy right on out of there. Right on. And T20 section is complete. So we're going to take this guy right here, and put that right into there. So I already have it kind of holding on there, so I'm going to take these guys out and thread that in through there so that that sits nice and pretty like in there. So then we're going to take this extension that this came with. See, there's our original plug. Again, we would have had a reach issue. It would have been maxed out. Yeah, it might have reached, but would have been sitting right on warmer components. We don't want that. That would have been gross. So let's get that all connected. And then I gotta remind me guys, stick that in there. That, yep. I'm liable to put that filter on there without putting that on there. Yep. Alrighty, let's do this. Alrighty, here we go. Got those guys in, got that guy in there. Got the appropriate spacer in there. I got a nice view at that intake. And this guy's nice and snug. It's pretty good. So now we just gotta put this guy back in there. For this guy is what keeps, well, I think I covered it before, but just what keeps the engine codes, pesky engine codes, from coming on. So that just sits there like that. Kind of directs the flow so it's not kind of doing a tumbling effect, I'm thinking, in there. So whatever the purpose to be, it is needed to make this thing run right. So as you can see, still a nice good size area to pull that air right in there. So let's put that big old filter on there. This guy will break it free from its captive state inside this box. Look at that. Alrighty. Now that is going to sit right in there. All right, let's fit her on there nicely. Assuming this bottom part right here, the flat, goes to the bottom. So let me fit that on there. It's gonna kind of go right around there. So let's see. All right, see if we got this thing indexed together. Looks like it. Right along there, we got 2 indexing marks right there. And looks like she's nice and flush along that end. So let's start twisting. This is the last part of the journey. Alrighty, Roo. Look at those nice connections right there. Real nice. There we go. Give her a pull, give her a cuddle. Just feel on the rim there, see if it feels like it's a danger coming out of there. She is pretty tight. I'm gonna give it one little twist for good luck. There we go. As you can see, it appears to be tight. I don't want to start reefing on the thing and then bust the hose clamp and do all that other stuff. My goodness, look at the size of that filter. First, let me pick up my hat. Look at the size of that thing. Alrighty, Roo. I kind of put this in here so it wouldn't interfere or get caught in all that malarkey in there. Don't want it resting in there, causing an issue. But look at the size of that filter. So now, without further ado, let's not just stare at the thing. Let's twist the key and see what happens. All right, we're gonna do a startup. Not really a cold startup. It's been sitting out here for a little bit, so it's not technically a cold start, but it's a startup nonetheless. Here at idle. I'm sure this. phone doesn't do it justice, so bear with me. Nonetheless, that's what she sounds like at idle in her stock configuration. Now let's give her a couple of jabs and see what that sounds like. All right. Afterwards, we're going to compare what it sounds like then. All right, let's give her a twist. All right, there she is at idle. Let's close the old trap and see what it sounds like now. And I'll layer these on top of each other so you can hear a little bit of the difference. Now, oh yeah, forgot to give her a few stabs. Let's see how she sounds. All right, let's go for a rip. Also, we're gonna take a listen to what it sounds like at a roll. Maybe get up to about 30 miles an hour or whatnot and see what she sounds like. This is again in stock. All right, departing from the same area we did earlier. Also, just to make it fair, stock version of what she'll sound like under load. So it's a slight uphill right here. So we are going to give a representation of how she sounds stock under load. Giggity. All right, this is the same hill we were at earlier on today, so let's see what it sounds like. A lot more pronounced turbo whistle. Jeez, you really can hear that. Let's get one pulling into the driveway. Like it. Sounds nice. Sounds real nice. All in all, pretty impressed with the sound of that. It's definitely got a much more pronounced whistle. Definitely got a more throatier sound upon acceleration. I know this phone camera doesn't really give it much justice, but definitely a noticeable change. So overall, like I said, I recommend these ones. I've had one of these intakes in the past on a Cummins, and same result. It was an enclosed box type, but it basically produced the same type of results. So anyway, what the hell was that? Jeez, it's the second sighting of that damn thing. I'm not even kidding. That thing freaks me out. I don't know where the hell it comes from, but always when I'm doing a project at night, I gotta get the hell away from that thing. So there we have it. The install complete. The S&B open style cold air intake for a 2017 Ford F-350 6.7 Power Stroke. Sounds real nice. Definitely increases that turbo whistle. You can feel that pull as soon as you hit it. I also have a pedal commander in there to kind of give a little bit of a quicker response on that throttle. All in all, I would say if you're looking for big power, I mean, 2-in's obviously the way to go, but if you just want to increase the power and the performance of your daily driver and get a little bit more juice out of her, I don't see the need in doing an engine tune, me personally. Pedal commander, S&B intake, you're going to get all the juice you need around town. You put that thing into Sport Plus and then hit it. It's going to sound nice and it's going to pull nice. So anyway, there it is. Please subscribe. Looking forward to seeing you guys again. I got some exciting videos coming up, including another finished Mosin video. Yes, I acquired a rarity. So, looking forward to seeing you guys on the Empty Skull Ranch.